Hi everybody and good morning for once. We are 2026 February 13. Yeah, I missed yesterday, so let's catch up with the news. I have 6 headlines which we go through right now. First one was very interesting and still very interesting. This is a 44 bucks evil mouse malware that grant attackers full control. I really love this approach. This is hardware hacking. This is what hacking is. Basically hiding a backdoor, physical one, in a mouse device which you don't see if you don't open it. It's very well explained and very nicely done. Basically, you got a microcomputer RP2040 and a USB hub that's embedded in the device, and outside you don't see it. The USB power the whole device, the mouse actually works, but then you get a full spying module on your machine. So, if you get given a free mouse, maybe you want to check that. And I'm a big supporter of wired devices. I don't like wireless because it's weak and it can be hacked remotely. You never know, because you don't see it. When you have some wireless stuff, if you are breached or something is taping the connection, you don't see it. There is no way you catch it because it's wireless. So I really, like wired devices. But in this case, well, you must do your due diligence, and if the mouse is not properly packaged, or sometime, maybe it's time to open the device to make sure that it's clean inside. So watch for this second hand or given gift mouse and any device after all, because this is done on a mouse, but it could be done in a keyboard. It's well known that keyboard can have the same devices. So if you go second hand or you are given something like that as a gift, well, corporate shouldn't allow such thing to come in. And this is also a good reason to explain why in your corporate policy you do that. I've been IT manager for years in the company, and many users asking to bring their own devices because it was more comfortable and stuff like that. And we would usually refuse and buy a brand new device matching the requirement instead. And this is one of the reasons, because this has been existing for years. And if you work in a regulated environment or with sensitive data, and most companies do, this is not something you want in your network. So yeah, a very nice one. Check it out. It's good to see. Like, we know the evil USB cable. Now there is the mouse. There is also the keyboard. That anything you plug on USB is allowing many way to attack the thing. Another statistic: 50% of Americans are ashamed to share about their romance scam because they've been victims, and they don't feel comfortable sharing about that because they will look like weak or ashamed of what's happening. But awareness is needed because there are so many abuse taking place online, and these romance scam are actually ruining people. So we should share about it, share this kind of article around, raise awareness, because again, if people realize that it might be manipulated or abused, this is something that should not happen. There's a simple rule, like if you got a lover online and the person asks for money, you never met the person, that's a fairly bad thing. The only way I would see, like, you meet someone online and the person is asking for money, will be like to take a plane ticket or transportation to see you, and that should be only one time. And if the person doesn't show up, you've been scammed, but at least it's going to be like a big amount, because many people are actually abused, like 10,000 bucks, 100,000 bucks, even more daily. This is happening everywhere in the world, so you should be aware of that. Something to stay aware. Next news. The Lazarus Group, they actually plant malicious package in NPM and PyP, yeah. The issue is that this is a software supply chain security issue. And what's happening is the threat actor rely on the fact that you have blind mechanism that build in your CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous development and deployment process. You don't have the security tools and security controls allowing to detect the manipulation in your third-party source and software supply chain. And this is actually massive attack at scale, because if they manage to get in the supply chain, this is not one target that get it, but many targets. And this is continuous stuff. I mean, we see that in the news every 2-3 weeks. That means that you cannot one time think that you check what are the npm package that are impacted this time. Yeah, sure, there are many, and if you have like these npm or PyP packages, you may want to check if you use them, if you've been impacted. But overall, this should trigger a way more deeper approach as a global solution to fix that issue once and for all with proper software supply chain control. And because you can see that if you have SBOM, software bill of material, you should know what you have in it, and you can check against that list. But again, that's the proper way to do it, is to use automated platform that will do the scan for you and be very more proactive, because there is less human in the loop, you know. So something to check, especially with by vibe coding. Do you even know what's embedded in what you generated with vibe coding? You know, if you do not call the library yourself, it's all done automatically. There is no way you actually know or think about it. So something to consider. Next stuff, WordPress plugin. Almost 1 million install vulnerable to critical remote code execution. That means that if you have that plugin in your WordPress installation, the attacker can actually run any code they want on your WordPress, which means deploying plugins, steal your credential, publishing, anything. You know, if they are smart enough, they will expand the footprint and you will not see it. So you're gonna tell me, but what do I do with that? Well, in this case, that's backup. They speak about WP Vivid backup and migration plugin for WordPress. The kind of plugin you don't need to leave on the platform. You don't need. I mean, once you got your backup and you got your migration done, remove it. You know, this is the same thing as mobile phone. The less app you have, the less extension, the less plugin you have, even in your browser, the better it is. You don't need to keep that active surface attack surface online. So something to check. And another thing is, under WordPress, make sure you enable the auto update of your plugin, because that's something to check as well. And WordPress comes always with update on the core WordPress itself, so this is something you should keep up to date as well. Check it at least twice a month, once a month at least, and not to remain exposed. And the auto update of plugin will actually help reduce the likelihood of an exploitation. But there are so many exposed right now, like 900, almost 1 million installs. That's crazy. You know, people just install it and forget it. Clean up. Same stuff with your mobile phone. Next one. OpenVPN do release a version which is 2.7 with expanded protocol and platform update. This is cool. It's been a while since we have been some kind of major update in OpenVPN, so that's very welcome. If you use, I mean, I do use OpenVPN under PyVPN solution. I spoke a lot about it. PyVPN is a very easy way to build your own VPN server that you can install on Debian or on a Raspberry Pi. It has been designed to run on a Raspberry Pi. And but it runs as well, you know, on Debian Linux, so you can have a VM on your infrastructure, or you can even rent a VM, a virtual machine, in a cloud provider like OVH or whatever for like $3-4 a month, and run your own VPN gateway. So that's interesting. The idea of the VPN again is to protect the traffic in transit. It's not you know, protecting your identity really. It's more about keeping stuff confidential and making your traffic that it's coming from another place than you are. But also when you're traveling, if you use Wi-Fi or anything, it's also protecting the content by encrypting in transit. So that's a good thing to have, especially if you own the gateway. If you do not own the gateway, like you are connecting to a third-party VPN server, you expose your traffic to the third-party VPN server. But there is another video, I will put that in the link, where I cover that thing about the VPN false assumption. And finally, speaking about that, AdBlock filter do expose your location even under VPN protection. That's something very interesting. Due to the way they pull the lists and due to the way they actually reach the server, the delay gap, the delay gap allow on the network side on your request allow the provider or a third party to know where you are and where you are connected from. So that's a very interesting fingerprinting technique approach. And that's also a reminder that whatever you do, there is still a way to identify you. There is nothing 100% going to protect you. Even if you use like a live system, a disposable phone with a VPN connection, you know, it's always something that may be tracked at some point due to the amount of data collection happening now and there. Even in the physical realm, you know, like cities, they do have these Bluetooth trackers in the red lights. So what happened is, to actually track the behavior of people, they do save the MAC address of the Bluetooth device and have a database and track them. You know, each red light has a Bluetooth receiver. Doesn't connect to your stuff most of the time. Just get the MAC address of it. And MAC address is a unique signature. If you think about that, like your wireless headphone, your car, your phone, they all make a nice bundle signature of who you are and where you go. So they can actually track the move with that. Therefore, there is no real privacy as long as you get something connected. So yeah, just be aware of that. I think it's gonna help you assess what you're going to do. I mean, this is mostly for criminal. If you are a legitimate, lawful citizen, there is no much you can fear, yet you should still be aware that any data that you put in the digital realm will eventually leak and be used and abused, at least to sell you stuff, to make you buy stuff, if not to manipulate you, or even in the political side of things. So that's about it for today. I wish you a great day. As usual, subscribe, share, like, comment if you have any question. I'm happy to see the channel grow and bringing you more value over the coming days and years. See you later. Bye bye.